It caused a lot of confusion because they had not explained which are the plantations. And again, also, even if there are any plantations in Kenya, there are quite a few. Instead of spending so much money in a conference like this, I believe half of this money should go into developing seedlings. The biggest problem in the country, there are no seedlings for trees, and they have not even been budgeted for, and even in the drier parts of the country, it's more complicated. You need to develop trees which are resilient in those places, and then you go and plant a tree. But how do you water it? Then you plant, and once the season goes, the tree also dries up, and you have spent a lot of money. There hasn't been any serious planning in the country, other than the talk in conferences. There's no real action on ground, and the real action is, first of all, in the drier parts of the country, you must have dams so that you'll be able to water the trees after you plant them. Researchers have to come up with a resilient tree which will grow in the desert areas, the drier areas of the country, which is much larger by themselves. They came up with a mathenge tree, which became more injurious to the environment than conserving the environment. And its thorns will be so dangerous to animals, to people, although it was developed, some times back. If you see the damage it has done in the drier parts of the country, is more. So we need to develop trees which can be useful, which can be useful to the people, which can conserve the climate, which can be a source of food for animals. And if you look at what is happening in Africa and what is happening in the developed world, it's very different. Everybody has been trained the culture of conserving forests, planting forests, self-discipline. They don't just cut trees. President Moy used to have a theory of, if you cut one tree, you plant three. I think you should plant. He did his best. So there's a lot to be done in Africa. Serious investment has to be done here, serious budget. So all these world well-wishers should send enough donations here to groups and organized groups, and even a bigger talk of climate change. There has been a little bit of highlighting, but we are yet, to do more. This is just highlighted. I hope it's not going to end with this. There must be a real investment in cash in terms of government budget and in an effort to plant trees. Personally, I do renovate government forests in Makueni, the ones which are near my environment. I make sure that we plant trees every season. And there must be a personal effort from every individual. I have made sure that over 10% of my land is covered by trees, and indigenous trees which can be used for timber later in future. So I really want us to have the real issues. Where is the budget? What is the plan? The Forest Service pretends to conserve forests. In Makueni, the few forests we have, they have been invaded or sold out quietly or secret or burned, the forest fires, by the same officers